Stocks on Wall Street dropped sharply yet again on Wednesday amid rising uncertainty over the rapid global spread of the coronavirus. Following the turmoil on US markets, the world turned and now Asian markets are open. South Korea's benchmark KOSPI plunged again this morning, falling below the 1,500 mark. That's quite the psychological barrier there. The KOSPI was down 6.8% at 1,482. That's as of 11:50 a.m. Korea time, around 15 minutes or so ago. The tech-heavy KOSDAQ is also in freefall, down more than 6% as well. Our Kim Bo-kyoung tells us more on the market turmoil.
As the spread of COVID-19 continues to pick up steam worldwide and confirmed global cases top 200,000, Wednesday was another day of severe bloodletting on financial markets. Despite the Federal Reserve's efforts to bolster the U.S. economy, uncertainty over the Trump administration's stimulus measures and their ability to counter the outbreak's economic fallout caused stocks to freefall again. The Dow ended Wednesday's session more than 1,300 points lower to close below the 20,000 mark for the first time in 3 years. The S&P 500 tanked 5.1% and the Nasdaq was down 4.7%. The circuit breaker was activated on the S&P 500 for the fourth time in a week, halting trade for 15 minutes as the index tumbled 7%. An expert says the nosedive is due to demand shock as businesses and consumers are curtailing their activities or shutting down, and that this shrinking of demand will continue until the virus passes.
We need to watch the advance of the virus and indeed the point at which the virus stops peaking and begins to flatten that curve that we talk about. And the curve with the virus is very much correlated to economic activity and ultimately the performance of financial markets.
Later in the day, the New York Stock Exchange said it will be shutting down its trading floor temporarily from Monday. It's moving to electronic trading as 2 people tested positive on Wednesday at COVID-19 screening centers set up at the exchange. It will be the first time that the New York Stock Exchange will be trader-free since the September 11th attacks in 2001. Across the Atlantic, markets in Europe were also in the red. Germany's stocks closed 5.56% lower to 8,441, while France's CAC 40 slumped almost 6% to 3,754. The UK's FTSE 100 fell more than 4%, finishing the day at 5,080. Oil dropped too as pandemic fears sapped demand for crude amid fears of a global recession. Brent crude dropped 8.6% to just over $26. WTI slid over 17% to settle at $22.35 a barrel. Kim Bo-kyoung, Arirang News.